Ladies and gentlemen, we are greatly honored for your participation in this Arctic Challenges, Innovations, and Commerce Expo. In this expo, we have lined up a remarkable group of professionals that to address both the innovative and entrepreneurial thinking, capitalizing on the region's opportunities, and also by studying a little bit of the gaps and challenges. And certainly looking to how research and commercial activities and industry can all kind of work together to really transition research and ideas into realities. Many researchers know that the tremendous challenge that exists from creating a remarkable innovative effort in research, but actually tend to bring that across the valley of death, from research to actually transition to an operational or commercial activity is quite a daunting challenge. Many researchers across many communities struggle with this, and frankly, in the Arctic region, we need to make every research effort count to the maximum it can. Transitioning research to make it operationally useful, to reduce the risk the operator faces, is something that we strive mightily towards in our center, and we work with quite a remarkable community of people that are all focused in a similar sort of fashion. The idea for this activity today and tomorrow is our first ever attempt to try to have a cognitive thought and dialogue regarding how we collectively work to transition research towards the operational community with support and integration of the industry folks that are quite well suited to advance research and make it operationally useful on a broader scale than what normally is accomplished within the research world. Strategically for us, it takes an interdisciplinary approach. It takes collaboration, it takes partnership, it takes trust. It starts with a conversation. And today, of course, our center has been underway in the 7th year of research. We've matured a lot of products, and we've transitioned quite a few of that to a great pathway we've learned through the course of our activities that involve, when software and applications, a lot of it goes through Axiom Data Sciences and to the Alaskan Ocean Observation System supports NOAA supports a wide array of Coast Guard mission enabling and certainly mission support. It's just one example. I'm going to take a moment here to introduce a little bit about our center, simply because we have a community we've connected with today that was well beyond our normal day-to-day group of people that we work with. I thank each of you for taking the time to join with us today. We actually have over 155 people registered for this event. Currently, we're 56 and growing for this morning's conversation already. We have some remarkable speakers lined up. I'm going to take, in advance of queuing up this remarkable array of people, I will take a moment to scamper through some slides, and give me a moment to bring those slides up. So, ladies and gentlemen, our center, of course, is just one of a number of centers that are conducted by the Office of University Program, the Department of Homeland Security. We are in our 7th year of research activity, and we're honored to be part of the Arctic community of science, as well as part of the Homeland Security enterprise. We support Homeland Security principally by focusing on the United States Coast Guard's Arctic mission set. It is a center of excellence in maritime research, and we are hosted by the University of Alaska. We are hubbed at the University of Alaska Anchorage, but we are a hub and network team as opposed to a hub and spoke. Our Arctic science is intended to address the categories of research you see listed on this slide. It is principally focused about enabling the decision maker. Our customers are oriented towards the aspects of the United States Coast Guard and their Arctic mission set, also the commercial and mariner community that operates in high latitude Arctic waters. It is also supporting the public good, which includes, of course, in Arctic Alaska, supporting folks that are in the business of subsistence-based hunting. Our approach in ADAC is essentially to conduct a number of Arctic science technology research endeavors, convening people to think through challenging problems in ways that that drive towards solutions. And then conducting an educational enterprise, because people were actually tends to last longer than hardware, software, firmware, and more. When we look at this, our center is actually focused as a hub and network that we have part of the University here of Alaska, and we're hub to UAA, but we try to have a UAA-wide approach. Or, for example, our research director is a vice chancellor for research at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. We, of course, also are connected to the United States Coast Guard, our principal customer, and then we're governed by our program management at the Department of Homeland Security Office of University Programs. We have the privilege of having a tremendous board of advisors that includes the distinguished professionals, both Canada and US, on this slide. Our activities do span quite a wide, broad array of partners and collaborators. This group of people, this group of organizations represents a number of people that are true Arctic professionals, and we are honored to be part of the Arctic Research Enterprise. In this aspect, we also are part of the community of communicating Arctic research, Arctic activities, and more to hopefully operationally relevant communities that see how research can be applied in ways that reduce risk for the decision maker and more. Education, of course, is a full spectrum activity for us that includes instructional activities at both an undergrad and graduate levels here at the University of Alaska Anchorage, and it also includes connecting to the University of the Arctic. But our core mission is that of prosecuting research. We do have a comprehensive network of professionals that are in the business of advancing research to benefit the Arctic operator. And we are focused on the kinds of mission challenges the operator faces, if you will, whether at the windscreen level, things that affect operators at either on the bridge or on the flight deck and elsewhere, but the tactical level is really worrying about that localized weather. Things and realizing that the Arctic is a region that has tremendous distances and tremendous challenges, and sea ice is a very complicated dynamic for all surface operators. Logistics is a big problem in the Arctic region. It is one that solutions that reduce the challenge of a lack of networks and lack of infrastructure are things that help reduce the risk the operators face, because supplying the challenge and supporting those folks that are responding is not an inconsequential activity. Infrastructure is a big deal to get right, and in a changing Arctic environment where permafrost is thawing and coastal erosion, for example, in places where you may wish to put ports, is not an insignificant challenge. It's one that we need to think through carefully, because the Arctic region of North American Arctic is is not necessarily the best real estate in which to build infrastructure because of its really poor nature of being clay type soil that's ready to slough off if need be when the ground thaws. Communications is a big challenge, and it has been for quite some time. And we're actually on Top Dead Center focusing on trying to address challenges of communication and connectivity for the Alaska Maritime region and the Arctic region. Bathymetry is also a big problem because the Arctic still remains poorly charted. Some of this, of course, is by science technology solutions. Some of this is solved or addressed by creating knowledge products. Sometimes it's getting folks together to think through the challenge and tapping the brain power of a collective community of professionals focused on the Arctic region. And of course, some of this is going to be solved by educating folks to think through the problem over the next generation. We do need to try to help the operator to find ways to locate people that are in need, locate people and activities that are illegal, be able to respond to disasters, and ability to identify threats and really those risks to U.S. allied and partner interests, and really trying to help the community of the operators be able to respond. Many researchers are really good at their research community and their research silo. We find a challenge is sometimes cross-pollinating between those communities. How can we interconnect the research? One of the things that we try to do is to address ways to cross-pollinate research in a way that benefits the operator and really breaks some researchers out of their silos and getting them to think more broadly. So applying this is the kind of the research that we have been a part of that supports, again, Arctic operations, that's tied directly to the various projects we have other underway that we actually have completed. And then also we have one that is getting ready to hopefully kick off in the next few days. This is a current array of projects that we have for us at the center. Some of this is fundamental, some of this is applied. All of this is focused on addressing the research needs that the U.S. Coast Guard has identified as a need for them to be able to better respond, whether that's search and rescue, disaster response, pollution response included, or any other aspect of crisis. We do have a new project just underway in Alaska Communications and Alaskan Arctic Communications Connectivity. And then we have a new facilities and environmental risk index project. We're in the last stages trying to solve and get that project underway. And we have an array of other prior concluded research that we try to leverage the best we can, and then find a way for this research to be, again, pull the thread forward. So no research essentially dies in a box canyon. Any way we can leverage it to pull it forward, we are endeavor mightily to do so. Again, other centers do this as well. We just make this a principal focus activity. And many times, of course, excuse me, my slides are slowing down on me here. A lot of times our research, of course, is included in thinking through the challenges that are faced by the Arctic operator. Many times it is really a useful idea to get operators side by side with researchers to think through the exact problem set. Essentially, what keeps the commander up at night? And this, of course, is something that is driven for us as our principal operational customer, is that the U.S. Coast Guard District 17, and this is U.S. Coast Guard District 17 commanders challenge set. How do we help Admiral Matt Bell deal with challenges that he faces in conducting Arctic operations in the maritime regions of the U.S. extended economic zone of the Arctic region? And of course, also thinking not only for the U.S. EEZ, but then what are the pan-Arctic challenges faced by the operator community? So in this, we've taken the approach of creating workshops that are focused on specific disaster regions, specific disaster instances that the Coast Guard is facing. We've completed those, as you see listed on the slide, and we're looking forward to a two-stage event coming this fall with the seating of the new District 17 commander here very soon. And then thinking through this in ways that benefit historically for us is that this drives new research. The Arctic Incident National Security process has driven a number of new research projects for the center and has driven new products for the benefit of the U.S. Coast Guard, just one example. Not every problem, of course, is that near-term concern. Some problems are longer-term in focus. And this is where our medium long-term environment workshops come to bear. That's the complement to Arctic incidents of national significance. We have a number of research longer-term focus activities that are underway in workshops. We have one coming up next week, an ACU's RS2, essentially Advancing Collaboration Canada-U.S. Arctic Regional Security. That's going to be on the 25th, 26th of March. It's advertised on our website. We have about 120 people signed up for it now. We're looking forward to that event next week. We do have our first, we hope, in-person activity, our Arctic Maritime Horizons workshops coming up on the 4th through the 6th of May. And again, we're hoping to do that in person here in the city of Anchorage. But what we look to in these workshops is to complement the near-term focus of what keeps the commander up at night by having a longer-term view of what are the policy challenges as a result of a changing Arctic, whether that's a physical geography, physical environment, or the human terrain. In this case here, the Arctic medium and long-term workshops is a way to think longer-term and complement our shorter-term activities. These workshops do not generate new research. These workshops generate products that are beneficial to the policy community. And one of our principal customers in this activity is the U.S. Coast Guard Senior Arctic Advisor, the SAPA. Of course, in addition to U.S. Coast Guard focused activities, we also spend a tremendous amount of time focusing on other research communities or other operator communities. Just last week, we conducted the Arctic Senior Leader Summit in benefit of Alaskan Command, a sub-unified command of United States Northern Command, and also, of course, support the commander who's tri-headed, Alaskan Command, 11th Air Force, and Alaska NORAD region. Arctic Senior Leader Summit 2021 was a remarkable event. We had over 300 people altogether registered for the activity and participate over a two-day event last week, and it is we're grateful to be a part of such a community as that. We also support the International Cooperative Engagement Program for Polar Research out of the Office of Naval Research, a multinational effort in science, technology, research development that supports the military services, but also supports a whole of government approach in advancing polar region. This is both Arctic and Antarctic research that is principally operator focused, that is sponsored by a multinational memorandum of understanding. Students is a passion enterprise. Ellie's day-to-day job, call sign wizard, is to focus on ADAC student programs, both the undergraduate and graduate level. We, of course, have students involved in center activities, to include this one, and we also have students involved in our research activities, assigned individual projects. We have a remarkable summer intern program that in the days prior to COVID included time up at Utqiagvik at the Bear Arctic Research Center. It looks like this summer we're going to be aced out of it again based on just the time it's taking to get everyone immunized and fit to be back in person together. But we do hope that this to be able to repeat our ability to go up north in next year's and our 2022 Arctic Summer Intern Project. But we will have students involved this summer in distance learning activities like we've done last summer. And then our last year will be a hybrid approach for this. Strategic, or the next year's activity will be our hybrid approach for this. Strategically for us, students are a passion point. We've been able to get students involved in national laboratories that graduated from us, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Arctic industry, and others that are focused on, again, operator concerns and benefit the Homeland Security enterprise. And this is just a couple examples of what that looks like in the field. We're just thrilled to be a part of that activity and look forward to doing that again into the future. And then I'd like to take a moment for those people who want to actually listen on a routine basis to the community of Arctic Domain Awareness Center researchers. This is our Customer Partners Roundtable. The last one was conducted on the 30th of January. Our next one will actually be in association with their annual meeting coming up on the 26th and 27th of May. But the Customer Partners Roundtable for us is a way for students across the academic communities, researchers, operators, and more to all listen and to ask questions of the people doing the actual research in a very short series of questions and a series of short presentations. We, of course, prize ourselves as being a very pro-CAN-US activity. We do have one of our board advisors is associated with Canada's Defense Research and Development Center in Ottawa. We are also honored to be a part of quite a wide array of people who are concerned about advancing science technology to benefit a wide community. It includes, of course, Arctic operators. And this aspect, we have the ability to connect with the state of Alaska and also authorities at local level, municipal levels, to include, of course, the North Slope Bureau. And then we are connected to a lot of activities in Washington, D.C. They include the U.S. Arctic Research Commission. It also includes the Polar Institute, the Woodrow Wilson Center, and others. But strategically for us, it is focused day to day on what are the concerns the Coast Guard operators facing, and of those concerns, what are we doing to try to mitigate the risk to enable the decision maker in a way that the decision maker could hopefully find useful and ultimately reduces the risk and improves the fidelity of the decision. In this regards, our goal is to provide operator-driven S&T. It is about reducing risk. It's about improving safety, increasing awareness, but not only awareness, but also understanding. And then importantly, it's about decision precision. We, of course, will try to address the shortfalls that the operators have identified and focusing that as our priority. We do try to invest to leverage prior investments. We have, since February of 2016, have operated on about 93 cents of every dollar provided by DHS goes directly to program content and advancing research to try to be very frugal with the resources provided. And then for us being able to do this in a way that really prosecutes approved investigations, that for us is a very disciplined approach to develop, transition, and field capability that's beneficial to the United States Coast Guard and also the Arctic community, because part of our mission is to support the public good. We do believe in our mission, and we sincerely strive to deliver, we hope, in a meaningful and profound way. So in this regards, I would just like to offer to you all over the next, really over this morning and tomorrow morning, we would hope that each of you find something of value from this conversation. One of the things we find, of course, as we look to the future, what are the things that we're doing today that really can lay the track work that benefits those communities that are just coming to bear? For example, economic security is a big deal for the state of Alaska, is a big deal for the North American Arctic. What are the kinds of things that we could do that benefit the community that's trying to advance entrepreneurship in the high north? Are the tools that we're creating, as our mission is to support the public good, is there ways to advance that in a way that we had not anticipated, because we've been focused on the Arctic operator? But in this aspect, is there a commercial application that the community of entrepreneurs say, hey, I can use that? So this is a conversation. And today and tomorrow, we hope to advance this conversation. We look forward to learning from what we do today and tomorrow and applying it next year for our second go at this activity. We do know, frankly, that as we look to the future, it is time to think. It is time to think in a way that is focused on the reality of a changing Arctic. It is changing in terms of physical conditions. There are people saying now the Arctic's not warming at about 2 times the rate of the lower latitudes in the Northern Hemisphere, but more in the neighborhood of 3+, and maybe some estimates as much as 4 times the rate of the lower latitudes in the Northern Hemisphere. That is changing, those changes that result in diminishing sea ice and also melting ice sheet on Greenland are a big deal. The reality is that a warming Arctic region is something that is going to provide reduced access barriers, increased entrepreneurship opportunities, and if done in a smart way, can result in the benefit of many. We want to help the community get this right. And then as human activity has accidents along the way, can the tools that we've created be leveraged in a way that reduces the impact of when bad things happen? A spill response in the Arctic region is a significant concern. And if we have a spill in the Arctic region, how can we find a way to mitigate this and minimize this in a way that reduces the biological impact in a region that does not change quite quickly, and the impact of a spill in the Arctic region could be felt for quite some time. So strategically for us, this is just part of what we worry about. But if it's keeping the commander up night to worry about, then it should keep us up long in the afternoon and the evening to try to find ways to allow that commander to sleep better at night. As a prior commander many times over, I know that commanders generally not sleep that well at night because there's always something to keep them worried about. But if we can help reduce a little bit of that risk, then we've done some good. So please leverage the next day and a half, or today and tomorrow, to find ways to ask the questions. The chat works quite well. And then strategically, please forgive us as we learn through this, because research is in the business of trying to find ways to reduce the impact of when bad things happen, how to reduce that impact, while also finding ways to increase the ability to be more precise, to reduce problems and hopefully get ahead of them before they come to bear in a manifest way. So that's what I'd offer. I'll stop for a moment to see if there's any questions anyone would have for the conversation before we go to our first guest speaker.